Hey guys, it's Simeon here. I just saw Across the Spider-Verse and I absolutely loved it. I think this is a masterful film. It does so many things well. And as strange as it might sound for an animated superhero film, I think this film is a work of art. I think it's something special. So stick around, I'll tell you all about it, what I loved about it, and why I think it's such an important film. Okay, let's go. Thank you for clicking on the link. My name's Simeon, and on this channel we discuss books, writing, TV and film, and anything else that needs discussing. Being a parent of two young children, I don't get out to the cinema as much as I'd like. In fact, a movie has to be something pretty special to make me get off the sofa and go out on a weekday evening. But Across the Spider-Verse is just such a film. So the first and most obvious thing about this film that is amazing is the artwork. And right away, I knew it was something special. The film actually starts with narration from Gwen Stacy, and we get to see things from her point of view a bit. And there's this amazing, amazing fight scene with her and a Renaissance vulture in a museum. And there's several things that stood out to me about this. The mix of art styles with Gwen's more watercolour painting kind of art style and the vulture's Renaissance parchment art style is really striking. It's very effective, and it instantly grabs you. On top of all that, the animation's very fluid and smooth, and they're adding in captions and little thwips. And to me, it felt more like a comic book actually jumped off the page and onto the screen than I've ever seen in anything. Any live action, any cartoon, anything. This felt the most like a comic book really come to life. And that was pretty much the opening, so I was already in a really good mood. The other thing I loved about that opening is Gwen's a drummer, and she's having trouble in the fight, and there's a moment where she pictures the drum beat in her mind, and that helps her pull off this impressive series of web slings. And I loved that. As a drummer myself, I just found that a really enjoyable little detail, and I kind of wish they'd put more of that in throughout the film for her, but it was great, really good. And then we get into more of Gwen's story. Everything's done this very nice watercolour style. The colour palette was blue, as was Gwen's mood. She was really down at the start of the film. But then there's this moment where she hugs her father and the blue shoots off her. It flies off her. It was art.
God, it's art!
We're talking about it, aren't we?
Oh, that's cool.
It was using the visual medium creatively in an unusual way to inform the story and the characters' emotions, and it was just really clever, and the film is full of innovative visual details like this. For example, the Spot's artwork is often black and white like him. It's glitchy, it's scribbly. As he becomes more disjointed and unhinged throughout the film, the artwork mirrors this until at the end it's really dark and scribbly, and you get the impression that this is a person who's about to snap. The next thing that's great about this film is the characters. Pretty much every character in this film is likeable and funny, and that is a really hard thing to do. And this film not only spends a lot of time on characterization for Miles and Gwen, giving them deep backstories, connections with their surroundings, connections with their family. It makes them flawed, tragic, but also funny and brave. This film's not afraid to tackle emotions and family dynamics, and it did give me the feels in quite a few places.
Phrasing?
But it's not just Miles and Gwen who are really well written. Every single character in this film, and there are hundreds of spider people, is well written. Characters that are on the screen for all of 10 seconds and get one line are somehow endearing and likeable, and you want to know more about them. I think a special mention should go to Spiderman India and Spider-Punk, Hobie Brown. They are amazingly well done. They didn't get that much time each. They got 10 or 15 minutes screen time each, but they made a huge impact on the story. It was important they were there. They were funny, likeable, and you got a sense of their character immediately, and then the writers were able to poke fun at those characters in a loving way.
You're not a joke, right, gang? Absolutely, completely unamusing.
I don't believe in comedy! Just kidding!
And Spider-Man India's upbeat attitude and belief that being Spider-Man is just easy and fun was really funny after we've seen everything that Miles and Gwen have gone through. And you just couldn't help but root for him. He was so likeable.
I love chai tea. What did you just say? Chai tea? Chai means tea, bro. You're saying tea. Would I ask you for a coffee,
I'm
for cream?
sorry.
And then when you realise he might also have to endure a tragic canon event like the other Spider people, it suddenly adds a lot of depth and layer to his character, and you really feel for him. There's genuine moments of character growth for Miles and Gwen, and we also see Peter B. Parker back and his arcs continuing with him now being a father. Now, some people complained about that because he doesn't actually do that much in this film, and some people said it's like he'd been sidelined, but I actually think this is a really good continuation of his arc. The challenge for him isn't being Spider-Man anymore, it's being a good dad. We'll see how it plays out. I'm willing to give the writers the benefit of the doubt here. I think they have planned out something good for Peter's arc, and I think it will be very satisfying. My one issue with Peter in this film is his insistence on taking his baby with him on missions. Okay, phew. The baby's asleep, MJ's here in case she wakes up. I'll just sneak out and jump dimensions. Oh, did you just move? Did you move? Are you awake? Are you, yeah, still asleep? Okay, right, I'm going now. Go now. Oh, no, now she's crying. Oh, no, come here, baby, come here. Oh, well, I guess you'll just have to come with me. Another reason I think this movie is so clever and masterful is there are so many Easter eggs and hidden details and interesting ideas in the film. For example, the motivation that Miguel O'Hara gives earlier in the film about finding a dimension where he could be with his family is a mirror of the Kingpin's motivation from the first film, where the Kingpin wanted to bring an alternate version of his family into his dimension. The film also plays around with ideas of predetermination. Miguel argues that there are canon events that have to happen to every Spider-Man, and if these canon events don't happen, then the universe will collapse, so Miles has to do what they want. Miles goes against this, and it will be really interesting to see how they resolve this in the final film. The last major thing I want to touch on briefly is that the representation is really good in this film. We got interesting, authentic feeling characters. We got this great vision of a multicultural, almost post-racial society where, yeah, there's still the occasional issue or cultural misunderstanding.
Hey, don't eat bread, love me, bro. No. I did not mean it like that. Now let me guess, you're gonna ask me about pecan and cardamom and non-bread, which is the same as saying bread, which is the same as saying chai tea. Oh, I love chai tea. No!
But mostly everyone just gets along. And I'm not saying everything needs to be like that, but I do think this film handled things especially well. So it's a strong recommend. It's a 10 out of 10 from me. I know it's an animated children's superhero film, but trust me, this one is something special and it really is worth seeing. Thank you for watching. Please do like and or subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've seen this film, if you're going to see it, and if you did see it, who your favourite Spider-Man was. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.